So obviously, a lot of reports to say that it's been on paper. There's just not a venue. So what are the percentages right now of your son David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant? It's basically a done deal. We just don't have a venue and a date yet. Is that true?
Yes, we're gonna fight late March, and we're aiming for that. We're in camp. We've been training. We're super excited for that fight. Caleb Plant's a good fighter, a very dangerous fighter. You've seen what he did with what's his name, Anthony Durrell. So that's a pointer for him. He thinks he's gonna do the same with David. In my mind, I tell you right now, I see David stopping him, like in the 8-9 round. I'm so confident of David's skills, and that's what we got to do. We got to look impressive in order to go to the bigger fights. If we want to fight Canelo one day, that I don't think Canelo would ever fight David. He will never. That's a mandatory. So winner of this fight will face Canelo. I don't think it's going to happen. He's going to leave those belts vacant. And but there's David Morrell, there's Boo Boo, there's Charlo. I mean, there's so many other fighters that we can fight. Those are the fights that people want to see. In my mind, we're not underestimating Caleb Plant, but I know what David could do. We're training super hard. We're taking him very serious, and that's very personal. That's a fight that we hate each other, So that makes it more exciting. But at the end of the day, we got to come prepare and take care of business, look impressive in order to get the bigger fights.
Forward, because I'm pretty sure he has a different opponent in front of him. Are you guys ever looking to avenge that loss anytime in the near future?
For sure. That's we have to get the rematch. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna give the fighter his my respects. He won fair and square. It's not like we're butthurt that we lost. Let him have his fame. I would definitely love a rematch. Maybe after we fight. Actually, the fight that we have next is harder than that fighter. There's some talks, about fighting Chris Colbert, something like that.
Yeah. Prime time. That was going to be my next question. So is it true? Because I got the scoop from a couple people.
We already accepted the fight. So we accepted the fight. We're just waiting on that side, to see what's going on, and it's a tough fight, bro. Colbert's a good fighter, a very dangerous fighter, of a guy that has a lot of experience, and I'm his fan. To be honest with you, I was watching him. I never thought we would fight him. Speed, power. I think they're in the same boat. Both of these guys need this win in order to bounce back. And it's an interesting fight. Like I said, I think this fight is harder than the one that Rayo lost. But I could tell you right now, Rayo, on the fight that he lost, he wasn't focused. And, things happen for a reason. I hope he learned from this, and he is. I think he's super focused. He's training hard. And I think this is a harder fight, actually, than the one he lost.
That's good. So you guys are basically just waiting on Mr. Prime. So was this the fight that you wanted, or was this the fight that was just given to you right away? Because it's interesting, both guys coming off losses, obviously being upset. So, like you said, there's a lot on the line. Was this fight offered to you, or was this fight a fight that you guys weren't looking for?
No. We already knew we were going to fight. We already had the opponent. It was another guy it's very tough. It's a good fighter. I forgot his name. He only had one loss. He was like 20-1 or somewhere around there. But we knew that, now, I mean, every fight is a risk, but I know Rayo has that, and he wasn't focused, and I mean, to be honest with you, if I was offered a fight for a world title against Tank or Rolly or what's the name, this kid Ryan Garcia, I'm pretty confident that he could do very well. I'm pretty confident that he could beat this guys, in my opinion. And people are gonna laugh and say, "What the fuck, you crazy?" He just got beat by another guy. Yeah, but he was not focused, and he paid for it. But at the end of the day, we don't run from nobody. we don't run from nobody, man. That's what we do. Why not take those big challenges? The focus is not there.
All right, that's good. So, obviously, so now that I know that this is, I'm obviously not new you, but you still have, all humans, we have a lot of learning to do. Um, usually trainers don't like other people stepping in. Obviously, your voice is not a stale voice between your fighters. So, are you always considering and always thinking, hey, it's always good to bring a guy in to get that second opinion, always for improvement?
I'll tell you right now, man, I have four assistants, four coaches. Um, and I think two, three heads think better than one. We're very organized, and we have a plan. Strength condition for David this camp. We brought Memo Heredia, and we also have Chris Denina. I mean, to me, man, at the end of the day, I want them to uh, make history, and whatever I can do to get them up there, I'll do. There's no egos here. It's not about me, it's about them making history. And if I have to step to the side, I will definitely do that. Thank God I'm still with them. I still have control of everything. But if there was somebody tougher and better than me, that could take control, I will be happy to step on the side and still be there.
So obviously, the last time we saw Rayo in the ring, obviously, was not the outcome you guys wanted. Um, as a trainer, after the fight, are you jumping on what you can do right away, or do you guys wait till like Monday and let everything die down? Because after a loss, everything is really based off emotion. Is it right away we jumping into the drawing board, or do you guys wait till like a Monday and sit everybody down as a unit?
Well, actually, as soon as he fought the Monday after that, he started training. It took me like about a couple of months, like a month, in order to see where he's at, how's his mind's doing, and you know, um, first of all, I'm here because I love what I do. I'm not here for the money or the fame or the glory, man. I enjoy doing what I do, and I gotta see where his head is, and little by little test him and come back. I even told him, you know what? I think you've been working hard. Take some vacations, some days off, and come back. He decided he didn't want to go. So to me, that's showing me and that he wants to continue. And I mean, this is what he says he loves, and at the end of the day, we fall, we get up, and we keep going, Nothing's easy right now. I mean, once you get in that ring, no opponent is easy. Uh, now he's gonna fight on David's card. He's getting ready. He's focused. He's in camp. He's in lockdown, like a lot of people say. He's there. We're watching him. And we're trying to help him, and he wants to do it. So he's there. He left everything he loves, his mom, his family, and all that, to stay in camp. So girlfriend or whatever. There's nothing here. He's in camp and getting ready. No excuses. You fall and you get up, and that's what champions do. The focus is not there.
All right. So I want to switch gears a little bit. Obviously, about a week and a half ago, we had the Tank and Garcia, but first, and then obviously, Jerome Boots Ennis received a lot of criticism. I was there in DC for the fight. I covered the fight. Me and a couple friends, we stepped over there. So, what do you think about Jerome Boots Ennis now being the IBF, interim champion? He received a lot of criticism for not stopping the guy and for lack of skill, because they said he wasn't cutting off the ring against a guy he should have gotten out of there.
He won. I think he won. He looked good. I mean, you're not gonna knock everybody out. Sometimes the styles do not match up with each other. So he won, and that's what matters. I think he's a great fighter, and he's gonna keep improving. And I mean, you're not gonna knock everybody out. There's gonna be fights that it could have gone either way or whatever. He got the victory, and that's all that matters at this point.
Hector was receiving a lot of backlash, obviously, for saying that he couldn't see and that he was dizzy after catching a left hook to the head by Tank. What are your thoughts on that? And what are your thoughts on currently Tank being basically at his apex of his career right now, where he's looking like he really doesn't have any flaws in his game?
I think Tank is a monster. He's an animal. He's a champion for a reason. Uh, I like Tank. Uh, he's a very smart fighter. If you look back, when he fought Leo Santa Cruz, he was getting hit, dun, 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 and then he just came out with that uppercut and, you know, uh, got a very impressive win. When he fought, what's his name, Rolly, I think he was getting hit too a little bit, and then he just set up that punch and game over. I think that what he does, he's a very patient fighter, very intelligent fighter, and he makes adjustments with all these styles. Uh, I don't see nobody beating him right now.
So I don't know if I'm pretty sure you heard the news, but it was interesting how Errol Spence is fighting Keith Thurman at 154, but they kind of gave him an ultimatum basically. So he'll be fighting Keith Thurman at 154 pounds, and whenever he fights him, he got 60 days to make the Spence Crawford fight, obviously the fight that everybody wants to see, or to fight the winner of Stanionis and Virgil Ortiz. The fight being at 154, what do you think that he can make that weight now? Do you think so? Because why not just fight both of these guys at 147? Why do you think stepping up at 154, then if the Crawford fight comes to fruition, to come back down to 147 pounds?
To be honest with you, that's something I respect them and their team. They could do whatever they want. If they think they could go down, um, they should. I want to see that fight no matter what. So I don't know. If he thinks that he can fight at that weight or come down or go up or whatever, um, they know. To be honest, I don't even know what they do in their camp or what, but it would be interesting. To be honest, and it's a fight that everybody wants to see, an exciting fight, and all we want to do, we don't care what weight or whatever, we just want to see those fights. So. Uh, it's interesting. I like all the fighters that you just mentioned. I like them. They're fighters and they're still in the game. So it will be interesting fighting whoever. Um, Keith Thurman or Tess Crawford, whatever. I mean, that's a good fight. Good fights that the people want to see.
I saw you in an interview where you were saying that Jose's walking around your son Junior is walking around under 145 pounds, which is interesting. What would be next for him? Would you like to see him back at welterweight where he got his notoriety, where he got the shine that he deserved, or do you want to see him back at 154 pounds?
It doesn't matter. And like I said, he could do, I think, 147, 154. I mean, those weights are not a problem. I would love to see him fight maybe Adrian Broner or anybody that's up there, Lara, maybe at 160. I mean, there's so many fighters up there. We're getting ready. We're we're aiming at May. So he's here. He's here at the gym training, staying focused, and whatever opportunity comes, and we'll take. At the end of the day, he has to prove himself again, and he has to convince people that he's back. And he's young; he's 30 years old. So maybe that break that he took and he wasn't very active, maybe it helped him, to heal his leg and mature, and maybe he's hungry, more hungry than ever.
Yeah, I know. There's obviously no love between between both camps, and I'm very into both fighters. So I'm gonna ask you a little basic, if a spicy question. I honestly think Canelo's just waiting out your son, to be completely honest, because the way I look at it is he's too small for 175. I don't see him going to 160 pounds. So I feel like he's probably just gonna wait out your son a little bit, which at the end of the day benefits your son. The older he
Of
gets,
course.
the wiser he gets, the stronger he gets, the more experience he gets in the ring. So, but if he somehow finds a way to slither out, is there an alternative fight that you can say will take, or would you actually pack your bags and move up to 175 pounds?
My focus right now, it's Caleb Plant. We want to send him to the hospital. You know, We have to, and I'm not trying to be mean, but this is boxing, man. You
Of course.
know, my biggest satisfaction would be seeing him in the canvas, you know, knocked out, and that's what he wants to do too, I mean, this is boxing. People like knockouts. People like seeing blood. We're gonna give the people what they want. We're gonna go in there. How David fights. He's a warrior. We're gonna leave our hearts inside the ring. I promise all the people that we are gonna come to war. We're going to pressure this guy. We're going to try to knock him out. We're going to try to hurt this guy. We are going to try to send him to the hospital. This, I guarantee you that's what we want to do. I think he wants to do the same thing, and this is boxing. This is what boxing is all about, is destroying your opponents. People enjoy that, so I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we don't want to hurt him, or we do want to hurt him, and you know what, to be honest, it would be very satisfactory to me that he doesn't go down in 2-3 rounds. We want to give him a beating. We want him to quit. We want to break him down, hurt him, and maybe even retire him. This is what we want to do. I'm not looking for the knockout. We're not looking for the knockout. We want to punish him. We want to, he's been talking a lot of shit. This is personal. And we want to give the fans an exciting night of boxing.
So obviously there's a lot of fighters that a lot of people look up to your son, and just to you in general, to believe it or not, here on the East Coast, people love you out here. When I speak to the Mexicans, to the Ecuadorians, me being Dominican, to me, when I speak to all the Latinos, obviously the blacks, everybody, you have a huge fan base here on the East Coast in New York. What do you want to say to the people here in New York that got a lot of support and love for you? And would you ever consider having a fight anywhere near on the East Coast?
Yeah, and before I answer that, I don't want to sound cocky and all that, but in boxing or what you do, you got to believe that you're the best. Sure. In order to be the best, people are going to be laughing about what I say. I truly believe on what I say. It's going to take a lot of hard work, and for all those fans and everybody that's showing us support and love, that's what I feed off of, that's who they make. That's why I wake up early. That's why in my mind, I'm super motivated. I'm super hungry because I don't want to let nobody down. I feel a lot of love all over the world. And, now it's an obligation for me to give them what they want. And I want them to see that they are supporting one of the biggest and best trainer in the world. And I'm not going to stop until that happens.
I see you got a lot of training going on, obviously, with your fighters, but I see you do a lot of work in the community. You got a lot of kids there. You're helping them, and it's good. What do you gotta say to young fighters up and coming that want to go pro? Maybe that they don't have that voice, or just need that extra push to get to the next level. That they don't have a guy like you in there, and that can help them. Obviously,
anything's possible once you put your mind into it. Anything's possible. I grew up without parents. I grew up in the streets. My mom and my dad separated when I was 2 years old. And, I came to the United States when I was 11 years old, and I made it happen. Look where I'm at, to me, that's a big accomplishment. I only went to second grade in Mexico, and I could barely read, and that, I'm not ashamed of it. I've been educating myself in life, through the process and getting educated and working hard and respect people and doing all that, I mean, if you put it in your mind, anything's possible. Anything's possible. Whatever you want to do in life, you can make it happen. You just got to work hard, stay focused, and don't let nobody take your dreams away.
It was a pleasure, Jose. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful night. Salute to the family, and you'll definitely be hearing from me soon. Have a good day. Over here, it'll be nighttime, but have a good day. And best of luck to any future plans you guys got going on. We'll see each other soon, all right?
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, buddy.